CC, CEO, wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder. I could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black-owned too.
Up, everybody? It is your girl, Constance Carter. Happy Monday. Oh my gosh, y'all, listen, I'm sorry I'm late. I had to get myself all the way together because I don't know. Today I woke up and I was feeling some kind of way. I wasn't even sure if I was going to come here and talk to y'all today because I don't know. I was like really tired. I don't know if it's allergies. I don't typically have allergies. So I don't typically have allergic reactions to anything, but I may have. I'm trying to get this thing on Facebook real quick. You know how to do it. If you are not new here, if you're new here, I got to do this weird thing on Facebook every time I come live because it always goes live. When it goes live, it's locked. So I got to do this weird thing on Facebook to make it public. Boom, it's public now. But I woke up. Look at you guys. Look, let me see if you guys can see. Look, can you tell? Somebody punched me in my eye when I was asleep. So I woke up with this swollen eye, and Dr. Shirley, who's going to be on here on Thursday with us, she told me to put a cold compress on my eye. She told me to take some Benadryl, but then I'll be asleep all day. So I couldn't take no Benadryl. Then she told me to take some Claritin, which I did not have an opportunity to do either. But, I was outside this weekend, and maybe perhaps it was from me being outside. But anyway, where you guys at? Where you watching from? If this is your first time watching, welcome. I'm Constance Carter, and I love to go live every single day so that I could talk back to you and talk black to you about the things that I think that matter to you. I think they matter to you. Thank you, Double A. I hope it feels better too. I was telling Jahari I was out there taking men all week, so somebody came in my dream and punched me in the eye. I was taking men, I snatched them. Just kidding. Wasn't really no men. I mean, it was cool. But if you where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? That's what I want to know where you're watching from, because I know we do have people that watch from all over the world, and I want to acknowledge you. I want to shout you out. What's up, Karen from the Bronx, the boogie down? I see Sophia's from Stockton. What's up, Sophia? And I love all the people. What's up, Anita from the DMV? I love all the people who come every single day. So thank you for your loyalty. I do appreciate it. What's up, Miss Lovely JR from Seattle, Washington? And then if you are a Black-owned business, if you have a Black-owned business, or if you know a Black-owned business, I need you to put in the comments, because it's important that we practice collective economics. That is the big thing around here, is that I want to make sure that we are doing business with each other, because listen, if we don't patronize ourselves, nobody is going to patronize us as we can do for ourselves. I don't know if you guys know, but only 13% of Black-owned businesses there are only 13% of Black-owned businesses in Black communities. Did you guys know that? Only 13% of businesses that are in Black communities are Black-owned. So you have your white businesses, you have your Asian, your Arab, even Jewish businesses. But if you go to their communities, you will not see a Black-owned business. So it's time that we start taking our businesses back, and it's time that we start doing business with each other. The narrative of us not doing good business or us not doing business with each other has since gone. And I'm glad that we're changing the conversation, to change the narrative, because we've allowed the powers that be to brainwash us. And then we've also adopted that brainwashing that we're just not good in business. And, before integration, the dollar circulated in our communities over a year before it left the communities. And so, once integration happened, when we no longer had to do business with each other, we stopped, and we thought the white man's ice was colder. You know what I'm saying? So we have cold ice too on this side too. Just say it. But we want to acknowledge and support people who look like you, because other communities are intentional. And that's not the only reason. You should do it anyway, because I think it's your duty to be intentional about who you do business with. At least give them a try. And if they don't work out, that's fine. But do not do business with people because they are Black-owned businesses. People didn't do business with me because I have a Black-owned business. And even though I have great, excellent service, but because of the color of my skin, which is kind of weird, right? The color of your skin can determine whether somebody wants to do business with you or they think that you're good or bad, which is crazy. But it's a game that's been played since the inception of this country, and we have to play the game too. So we have to make sure that we look out for our family and y'all family. So like I said, if you know a Black-owned business, if you have a Black-owned business, or if you're starting a Black-owned business, put it in the comments because we want to be able to support you. Okay. So listen, what did you guys do this weekend? I had if we don't patronize ourselves, who will patronize us? Yes, 13% definitely can change community funding. Absolutely. And that's one of the things. I'm getting ahead of myself because that's one of the things that at the Black Power conference, the Black Power, Dr. Lene Javette, she had a great Black Power conference on Saturday. Let me see. Do I have it on here? I spoke at the Black Power conference on about Power conference on Saturday. And it was great. So shout out to Dr. Lene Javette for putting on such an awesome conference. It was a virtual conference. So if you did not get a chance to attend, hopefully you'll get a chance to attend next year. But I've been speaking at her conference every year. Every time she asks me, I'm like, yes, because I support what she's doing and the space that she's in with supporting Black-owned businesses. And that's one of the things that they were really talking about is that collaboration, and we have to be intentional. All the things that, are in alignment with, my goals, my mission, my belief. But it was great. I actually, Brenda, who was here last Thursday from Net 7 Collective, she spoke on Sunday. And then my good girlfriend, Brashawn Shaw, I was able to make that connection for them and invited her to speak at the Black Power. I don't know if you know Brashawn Shaw. She was on the Housewives of New York. And her and I talked about doing some collaboration coming up. So we'll see. I may have her on here. And she had stage 4 breast cancer. She's a survivor. And now she coaches like CEOs. She was just in Taiwan last week, Vietnam, but she coaches CEOs from all over the world. And she's an amazing woman. And we hang out. She's in DC. Speaking of DC has been really good to me. I posted on my Facebook the other day how I'm just so happy, or DMV. I live in actually Maryland, which is not too far from DC. I'm like 20 minutes outside of DC. But it's been really good. And I've been able to meet some really amazing people. And so Friday, we have Melanin Con. And I've been talking about Melanin Con. I was going to be a speaker at Melanin Con. See, there's a flyer of me speaking at Melanin Con. And so that's actually the premise of what we're going to discuss today, because I learned quite a bit at Melanin Con, which I really want to share with you that I think is really important. But I just want to kind of go over, how that went. Me and my daughter went to the Melanin Con mixer. You see her? That's my beautiful. Jahari likes to call her Junior. But that's my beautiful daughter. She is a real estate agent. She's licensed in DC, Maryland, Virginia, and California, and she is killing it. And I'm so proud of her. And when I tell you that girl could sell me better than anybody, she could sell me better than I could sell myself. But she's also, just a great person to be around. But we went to that mixer on Thursday, and Black Power. Yes, you liked it, lovely JR. You loved it. Good. So we did that. And then on Friday, I didn't come live because I had to speak at Melanin Con. So here I am on stage speaking at Melanin Con. And y'all, they had me speaking right after. So that's a guy that was kind of interviewing me. It was kind of, it was me speaking, but he was kind of asking me questions. But they had me speaking after Jamal Bryant. They had your girl speaking after Jamal Bryant. So the two people that were left after he left, no, I'm just kidding. It was good. And, of course, I represented for y'all. I represented for you guys as I did. But Jamal Bryant came and he killed it. And so that's what I want to talk to you about today, about what he said and the things that I'm going to show y'all, because I want you. It was a most of you guys probably weren't able to be there. But I do want to tell you, because this is and so I need to share it with you. It's really, really critical. But they had me speaking after Jamal Bryant. Interesting. Okay, cool. And then that was Friday. Saturday, what did I do? Did I do anything on Saturday? What you guys do? What y'all do? And then on Sunday, y'all, Easy Street, who's a DJ out here, who's a friend of mine, he invited me to he does this rooftop party once a month. So I went to the rooftop party. I was shaking a tail feather. I had to go practice that. Y'all, anybody know the Tamia dance? Anybody know the Tamia line dance? Anybody in the comments know the Tamia line dance? Y'all, anybody there? Anybody there? Know The Tamia line dance. I'm gonna get to my point, by the way, y'all. I just want to, every Monday I like to catch up with you, let you guys know if you're new here. I like to catch up with my people, tell y'all what I did, see what it is y'all did. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into it. So I'm going to talk about this whole idea about Target, but I just want to know, what did y'all do this weekend? What's up, Linda? Sophia, what did you do this weekend? What'd you do? Oh, the Tamia line dance. So before I went, I had to practice. I practiced. All right, so I had to practice. Y'all, you got to get it in, right? So then I go to the little thing, and I know that one. Every time I got to get on the dance floor and do the Tamia dance. Yes. Then, so Easy Street is a DJ. And so he and I connected a couple of years ago when I first moved out here. He DJs at WHUR, and we have a Bay Area connection. He used to DJ at KBLX in the Bay Area like 20 years ago or something like that. And so he and I became fast friends. He always invites me to things. In fact, he got me on the flyer for the next month's rooftop. I'm like, Mama, I made it. Wait. Let me see the text from Easy. He got a grown woman on the flyer for, because he's doing a rooftop. He's up until I think September, he'll be doing these little rooftop parties. So he got your girl on the flyer for the next month's party. Anyway, he and I became friends, and so he invites me to you hung out with Shantae and Monique. What was they doing? Shantae and Monique, those are my friends. They always have fun in Stockton. They always, like, every time we had the best parties in Northern California, I would say. The Carters had the best parties in Northern California, and Shantae and Monique. Shantae is her son, Monique is his wife. They always came and partied with the Carters. We like to play them in spades. Shantae loves to cheat. FYI, Sophia, Shantae, he loves to cheat in spades. Just want to let you know. Just want to make sure that you know, and let him know that I said he's a cheater. And then he always has comedy shows every month. So really, really good people to know. But if you guys don't know Easy Street, it's easy. Hey, Bill. So that's Easy and me. So that's what I did yesterday. And listen, do y'all know anything about go-go music? Because before I moved out here, like, it was like, okay, people always talking about go-go. I'm like, yeah, doing the butt. Yeah. That's all I knew. So if you ain't from here, like, you ain't really, at parties here, it's a little different, because I like the music that we play in the Bay better than I like music out here. But I dig go-go because it's a vibe. It's a real vibe. But I like the shit that the grown stuff. Like if I go to what's the KBLX Soul Picnics? I like that music. I like the music that we do in the Bay better. But it's cool. Like go-go, like, so when I'm at these parties and they play the go-go music, everybody knows the words except me. But they love they go-go. Watch this. Sis was getting it, wasn't she? Sis was getting it. She was there last one too. I caught her last one. Sis was getting it. She be getting it. She don't give a damn. She come out there to have a good damn time. But as you see, it was call and response. Everybody knew the words except your girl. So I don't know, like, all the go. I know a couple of them, but that's it. So that's what I did. That was my weekend. Thursday, Friday I did Melanin Con. That's why I wasn't here talking to you guys on Friday. I had to speak at Melanin Con. I did something on Saturday. I can't remember. No, I think I stayed home. I think I did. I was around house Sunday. I did the day party. But you guys, we do have, I have a mixer coming up. If you are in or around the Washington, D.C. area, or if you want to listen, DMV is so much fun, Double A. It is. When I tell you, Double A, it's something to do every single day of the week here. Now that it's warm outside, like you get to just pick. Hollywood a go-go when I was young. See, I don't even know Hollywood a go-go. I don't even know what that is, but yeah. But they have something to do every day. But we're doing a get financially lit mixer coming up. It's going to be June the 5th. So even if you're not, like, if you want to fly in and come hang out with us, it's sponsored by Net 7 Collective. April Sampay is going to be performing live. So you guys come out, come on. So yeah, we are having the Get Financially Lit mixer, and I'm going to be doing them probably once a month or maybe once every other month, depending on how I feel, because I kind of do it by myself. But go to Get Financially Lit 25.eventbrite.com. Go to Get Financially Lit 25.eventbrite.com. So that's where you purchase the tickets, but hopefully you guys could come out and support and be a part of it. We're going to have some speakers that are coming and just share wealth building. It's about mixing and mingling, but it's also about learning. So I'm going to have some speakers there that are going to talk to you about some amazing things. Plus, April's going to be there performing. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be amazing. All right. So let me get to it. Okay, so I want to talk to you about what Jamal Bryant talked about on Thursday. Okay, I want to talk to you, on Friday. Target being $100 billion company, they pledged. So that we started the Target fast. I think it was in March, and to date they've lost a ton of money. The stocks went down significantly, and so Jamal Bryant at the Melanin conference. He was explaining what was going on and the fact. So I don't know if you guys know that Al Sharpton met with Target last week. So everybody on social media is like, why is Al Sharpton meeting with Target? It should be Jamal Bryant because he's the one that started this. Well, Jamal Bryant was actually at that meeting, but he couldn't say because of the White House, because all this stuff that's going on with the White House is crazy. They're actually targeting Jamal Bryant. And he was like, I'm gonna show you guys. He was just like, I don't really want to say everything because all these cameras up in here, but I'm gonna let you guys hear directly from him on what he said. So you guys I'm gonna let you guys hear the whole speech. Because if I take it away and if I take bits and pieces out of it and I just kind of preface what he says, you don't get the fullness of what he's actually saying. So I'm going to allow you to hear exactly what I heard sitting down inside the Melanin conference. So I want you to take notes because this is very good information. And then, of course, put your comments in, but this is exclusive. This is, nobody's heard this. I mean, I haven't seen it out there yet. And he hasn't talked to the public about this, but this is what he shared with us at Melanin Con. So I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see it. All right, get your pen and pad, and I'm gonna let you see it. I'm gonna play the whole thing through. It's 33 minutes, but I'm gonna play the whole thing through because I think you need to hear it. All right. All right, let's go.
From the head, then it's got to go down to the skirts of the robe. So you've got to be reflective of the same oil as your pastor, and that should be reduced to your capacity to speak in tongues. Wow. But how are you able to flourish? How are you able to thrive? Before I was a pastor, I was a National Youth and College Director at the NAACP for 6 years under then the Honorable Kwasi Mfume. And under that, I was charged with directing 70,000 young people around the country. And I use that as an intro to my remarks today. The NAACP is roughly around 118 years old. And a quick Google search will tell and inform and educate you that in the history of the NAACP, the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan, has never bombed the NAACP office. I'm dropping that there and I'm coming to get it. The Ku Klux Klan has never bombed a Rainbow Push office, has never bombed an Urban League office. Pastor, I'm lost. What are you telling me? But they bombed Black Wall Street.
Yeah, okay.
White supremacy
right.
is not unnerved by speeches.
That's right.
They are disturbed by cash registers.
Economics.
And when you make an economic impact, that's when you're doing real revolutionary work.
That's right.
Please understand that even the Dixie South was really not shaken by water fountains or by lunch cafeterias or by placements on a bus. When Dr. King was assassinated, he was in the midst of galvanizing the Poor People's Campaign. After the passing of the Civil Rights Bill, in private conversation with Harry Belafonte, Dr. King said, I am afraid I've integrated the Negro into a burning house. What is the point of the Negro sitting at a lunch counter if he doesn't have money for a hamburger? Because the next progressive step after civil rights is silver rights. And if we do not understand that the real issue is not white or black, but it is green, then you are missing the frontier that we're presently on. I came into national news 6 weeks ago because in the middle of tongue-in-cheek, a Black History program at the White House, they started holding up signs with my face on it. And I'm coming through Atlanta's airport and my phone is blowing up saying, Rev, get to a TV because you need to see they're holding up signs with your face on it in the White House for a Black History program. And so I'm Nikki Giovanni, ego tripping, thinking they honoring me at the White House. So I'm trying to find a TV because I tell Mama I done made it. They honor me at the White House only to discover that they were jeering me. And I couldn't understand, as a critical thinkers as you are, why they have 3 pictures of me on signs at the White House. So you have to ask yourself critical questions. How did signs on sticks get through security? How did Secret Service okay it? How is this permissible? Hear this in the library of the White House. And critical questions, sisters, you all are in the room. How do they have no pictures of Jasmine Crockett? No pictures of Maxine Waters. No pictures of Ben Crump. No pictures of Hakeem Jeffries. Why is a picture of a pastor from Georgia up in the White House? 2 things that you need to be aware of. They did not pull the signs out until they announced the confirmation of the new FBI director.
Wow.
So as soon as he is confirmed and they announce he's confirmed, they pull out pictures of me at the White House and start chanting, hold him accountable. Now this is 2 weeks after I announced a boycott of Target.
Wow.
Yeah. So it is about where are you with economics?
Wow.
I need you to understand for the spirit and the prism that we are presently in, I need you all to understand that this room is now a terror cell.
Wow.
I want you all to think this is a warm and fuzzy gathering.
Yeah.
Somewhere in your midst is an informant.
Wow.
Yeah, because if you are thinking about the economic liberation of our people, and they understand that that is the next frontier under a president that only recognizes commerce, that in the middle of the inauguration, in front of cabinet appointees, are the wealthiest people in America. So Elon Musk becomes the de facto co-president with no experience, no legislative experience, with no congressional hearing, with no swearing in, with no written authorization, because he is the wealthiest. Yeah. This nation only understands money. It only understands money, and as a consequence, our conversation, our dialogue, our discourse, and our engagement is a threat to the establishment. As a consequence of me leading this boycott against Target, they have lost somewhere in the orbit of $8 billion in evaluation. 6 weeks. Their stock, when I started on Ash Wednesday, was $145 a share. As of 3 o'clock this afternoon, it is at $93 a share. Their foot traffic has dropped by 7.9%. Their online shopping has gone down by 9.7%. Why am I telling you this? I am telling you this because the danger is that we actually wake up and realize how powerful we are as the 12th wealthiest nation on the planet. $2 trillion, hear this, of spending power.
That's right.
Spending power, ladies and gentlemen, got nothing to do with your rent.
That's right.
Has nothing to do with your car note. Has nothing to do with your insurance. That is what you have in discretionary income. And we have never mobilized it. Yeah. I want you to understand how dangerous a position we're in and how backwards we are in this moment. That I began this movement against Target 70 years after the Montgomery bus boycott that was 381 days long. 70 years, and I want you to see how far we've come and how backwards we are. Wow. How far we've come, how backwards we are. Third time for extra emphasis, how far we've come and how backwards we are. That 70 years after the Montgomery bus boycott, we as Negroes are proud to be in Costco. That we don't even have a black establishment 70 years later. Forget it even being national. Can you imagine that the gathering spot has more locations than any black big box vending business? So we have a place that we can gather, that we can think, that we can co-work space, that we can share, that we can eat. But where is it for us to do business? So I came here an hour early just so that I could go through the vending spaces because I did not just want to be a talker, I have to demonstrate it. Last weekend we did something novel and important. I was talking to a young scholar who's here from London, Elijah, raise your hand. He's working on his doctorate in economics. And I said to him that I had to be intentional because the black church is at least 30 years out of space. Black Lives Matter, for those of you who are in DC, was a critical moment for the civil rights movement because Black Lives Matter is the very first civil rights movement for black people in America, listen to me, that was not, one, birthed out of the church, and two, did not have a spiritual leader at the front. And the black church had to confront its own hypocrisy because they didn't want to support same gender loving sisters. So as a consequence, you have an entire generation that will not come to the church because the black church is perceived to be out of pocket, out of touch, and have an elevated form of dissociative disorder. And so when we came in and called it a Target fast, and brought a spiritual principle to a social epidemic, it made the church then now have to respond. Pastor, why did you call it a fast and not a boycott, not a protest? And I'll tell you why transparently in that space. I am reticent about calling for public civic engagement if it is now a federal offense to touch a Tesla. There are two different movements happening in America right now. It's the Tesla movement.
Did y'all know that it's a federal offense to touch a Tesla? That was new to me. I was like, what? It is a federal offense. These motherfuckers is crazy. All right, let's go back. Sorry. I just had to. It's crazy. All right.
Movement and the Target movement. Hey, yes, TNT. Law and Order comes on at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So you have to think with a rational and critical mind what is taking place around you that you have not really localized. Is that they keep poking the bear, waiting for us to respond. If it is a federal capital offense to vandalize a Tesla, watch this, you all, because you're in the room, y'all are thanking people. And then it's amazing, you all seeing thousands of people on TikTok and on Instagram protesting outside of dealerships and no arrests. Now, just this motley crew that's in this room, I already checked it because y'all claim to be revolutionary. 0.08 miles from here is a Target. Now, if y'all are so inspired and on fire and you want to walk down there together, I'm going with you till we get there. Yeah. Because there's some things as strategists and as activists that you're going to have to consider is we now have the precedent for our dear brother in El Salvador that you can be arrested and deported without charges and being citizens. Yeah. So if we call for a national day of marching on Target, the whole landscape is getting ready to shift. They're already feeling the impact through picketing out of your pocketbook.
Sorry. So I just wanted to pause it right here because I'm gonna start back up, but I want you guys to tell your friends because this is exclusive. He has not spoke this anywhere publicly. We were able to hear this on Friday at Melanin Con. So what I need you to do is I need you to go get your friends, tell them to come over here and listen to this live because it's cool to listen to it later too. Y'all can listen to it later, but I want to have a live dialogue with you about what it is he said, and then what are the steps moving forward for us as a people. So I need you to go get your friends. Tell them to come over to I Am Constance Carter, my YouTube page. Tell them to come on over. I Am Constance Carter. While you're there, please subscribe to my YouTube page. But I want to have an engaging dialogue about how we can move forward as a people to make sure that we have one voice, we're moving collectively, that we make an impact, and that we are insulated from all these things that are coming down the pipe, because he has a lot of really, really good information that he's going to share with you. But I want you to go tell your people, send this link, go on YouTube right now. Hopefully you're watching from I Am Constance Carter or Dr. Boyce or Fly Nubian Queen. But tell them, get the link, send it to your friends, tell them to come over and watch this. I'm not sure how long it's going to be up, but tell them to watch it live so we can have a live dialogue about this. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and continue the conversation.
Elevating and amplifying our voices is the next phase, but it is the next phase after it is that we have exhausted all other options. I met with the president and CEO of Target on last Wednesday, and I went under the cloak of anonymity because the administration asked Target not to meet with me. So you all saw on the news a week ago that the president met with Reverend Sharpton. I was in that meeting, but it couldn't be publicized.
Oh, wow.
It is interesting for you to know that 48 hours after that meeting, he went and met with Trump. And since that moment, we've not been able to get him on the phone.
Oh, wow.
It's a whole, y'all got me antsy with all these cameras in here. It's a whole another layer of activism that we all are getting ready to approach. But brothers and sisters, it's hard for us to even fathom. We just 90 days in.
Wow.
We're 90 days in. In case you all didn't see it yesterday, they dropped yesterday at 12 noon merch for Trump 2028.
Oh, shit.
It is on the White House website when it is unconstitutional for him to run, and they dropped it on the White House website.
They don't care about Constitution.
Yes, that's my point. And so I am having to use a 70-year-old model of economic development that goes back to the Montgomery bus boycott, hear this, which predates Instagram, predates TikTok. We have always had to deal with racism, but never pronouncedly from the Oval Office. And so what it is that we are called to do and how it is that we move is so stridently significant that we're going to have to work smarter and harder on how it is that we upend it. I want to share with you the 4 things that we have asked of Target, and then I can't see my brother in the dark. The 4 things that I've asked of Target, and then unpack for you why it is that we've asked for those 4 things so that you understand the science behind it, and then I'll yield in the time that is left to me for us to just have a conversation as family. The first thing that we ask for is that, in case you don't know, Target is headquartered in the same city George Floyd was killed, Minneapolis. And when George Floyd was killed, the president of Target, under no pressure, under no demand, out of no protest, the president of Target released a statement and said George Floyd could have been one of my employees. And because he's could have been one of my employees, here's what Target pledged on their own is we want to give $2 billion to Black business. And we want to do it by 2025. That's number 1. January, Donald Trump is installed as president, and 4 days later, Target announces they will no longer honor the pledge.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2 is Black people, and I need you all to have this so that you can tell your friends and your family. Black people embarrassingly spend $12 million a day at Target. Did y'all hear what I just said? You should have a nosebleed and an aneurysm right there. $12 million a day, and I can't find a Black business that amasses that amount a day. $12 million a day. Because they collect $12 million a day out of Black hands, I've asked them to deposit $250 to $350 million into Black banks so that Black entrepreneurs could have access to capital and that we would have a greater access to Black home ownership. That's number 2. Number 3, for those of you who do not know, is Target has stores on 27 college campuses. On 27 college campuses, and not one is on an HBCU. So I've asked them to partner with 6 HBCU business programs to finance those business programs so that the next generation would know how to scale business to a national level, and so that we could forge and frame actual competition so we wouldn't have to redirect Negroes to Costco. Fourth is out of the altruism of our Black DNA is a reformation or a reimagining of DEI, given that DEI does not benefit Black people first, second, third, or fourth.
Right.
Yeah. So the number one recipient of DEI is white women. Second is the Latino Hispanic community. Third is for those who are physically challenged. And then is African Americans. I am proud to announce to you all in this space that Target has agreed to meet the $2 billion pledge to Black businesses, and they have to do it by July 31st. And we have it in writing. So we're able to cross that bridge. We still have 3 more, and we're asking people not to go in until we get those other 3 done and met. It is a critical place. I live in Atlanta, and I live in Atlanta is the only place where the largest amount of homeowners is Black women.
Wow.
Y'all just missed that. Black women are the largest homeowners in Atlanta. Pastor, why are you sharing that with us? Because I say that to MAGA and to Republicans, is that if it is based off of meritocracy as the replacement for DEI, that Black women should be the overwhelming majority of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies because they have the education and the wherewithal, but have not been given the opportunity. Of the Fortune 500, Blacks are only in the orbit of 6 to 8. Did y'all hear what I just said? 6 to 8. So when we're talking about a revolution in a post-pandemic Trump American reality, it is going to be built on the back and on the sweat of economic development. And so what we have seen in terms of leadership heretofore was orators. Leadership in this iteration will have to come from investors. It is those who have the mind towards economics who are going to have to craft the plan on how it is that we forage our way into a different reality. As a consequence, I came to that church, as I shared with you all, and all it is that we had was a gym and a sanctuary. We just got a permit 3 months ago to build 150 houses on our property. And here's the catch. We are only selling those houses to millennials. Only selling those houses to millennials to begin a new wave of home ownership. Because it's only Black people that have housewarming parties at apartments. So we want to change what it is. How you registered at an apartment. So we want to change what that narrative is. We were able to craft that deal under the Biden administration so that we would not find ourselves liable against age discrimination. Our second phase is we're going to build at the end of 2026. We'll begin senior housing, the first of its kind, for those of you who are developers. And I know you hear from all over the DMV, all over the country. Are you here? I'm going to give you a quick principle on how it is that you can make money. I'm giving it to you for free because I'm not a developer. Pull people together and figure it out. I shared a couple of weeks ago. This is the very first time in American history, where there are more 60-year-olds than 16-year-olds.
Wow.
Did y'all hear what I just said? It's more 60-year-olds than 16-year-olds. Every day in America, 1 million people turn 65. There are more senior centers than middle schools. 87% of Black churches have a youth pastor, and 92% of Black churches don't have a seniors pastor. Of the largest demographic, and we don't have anything for them in ministry, nor do we have anything for them in marketplace. So we're doing a first of its kind senior housing in Atlanta. And again, I'm challenging you all to do it. I don't have the copyright on it. Do it. Find investors to do it. And if you're Black, it's going to make sense to you. And you're going to raise your eyebrow that nobody ever thought of it. And you're going to be glad you came here because I done gave you the idea. We're doing the first of its kind senior housing. Here's where y'all going to go crazy because it's going to make sense. Because there's no senior housing in America for seniors who have custody of their grandchildren. Most senior housing, kids can only stay for the weekend. Then they got to go by Monday. Everybody in this room, 1 out of 4 of your friends was raised by their grandmother. Right? Yeah, but they can't stay with them in a senior facility. And so this creates for us an African model of multi-generational living and wealth that is able to push us into the next capacity. I was in Ghana last summer, and I had this idea. We were incubating and working on it, and I asked them, can you take me to a senior housing facility, because I want to see what it looks like, what y'all are doing over here. I'm on the continent. And they said there's no such thing as senior housing, because we take care of our seniors. We have a different model and mindset of the framing of what family life is supposed to look like. Whatever it is that you curate in your business model, make sure there is a lane and a component for seniors. Because I got to tell you something, it's the best kept secret. Seniors got money. Yeah, I know you're used to your grandmother giving you a crumpled $20 bill, but seniors got money. And so you got to figure out in your model of business how it is that you function, how it is that you move in that place. Our third phase of our development is a workspace, mixed housing, and retail space, as well as a different kind of pipeline. That different kind of pipeline is where it is that I close. I'm a third generation preacher. My grandfather was a presiding bishop of the AME Church. My father's a bishop in the AME Church, and I'm missionary Baptist. I got up after the pandemic and made an announcement to my church that I needed to repent and I needed to apologize. And I want you to hear what I repented for, what I apologized about. I got up and said, in my 52 years of living, I have never seen the Black church give a scholarship to a young man who wanted a CDL license. I've never seen the Black church give a scholarship to a young woman who wanted to be an esthetician. The Black church has adopted W.E.B. Du Bois and thrown away Booker T. Wow. That we have no value for trade. We have no value of how it is that you work with your hands. And we found out in the pandemic that a truck driver can make more money than somebody with a bachelor's. And they got no student loans. Where is our pipeline for those who are working in that space? And how do we value them? How do we make that investment? How do we pull? I went, when I was pastoring in Baltimore, I went with a young man to court who was facing some time. His mom, single mother, asked me to go with him before sentencing to ask for leniency from the judge. And before the young man's case was called, a Jewish boy was facing the judge for stealing a car. And they called the young man, I don't know, his name Abraham something. Stand up. And when Abraham stood up, half the courtroom stood up. It was all Jewish men.
Wow.
And the rabbi came and stood before the judge and says, I'm Rabbi so-and-so. Abraham is a member of my synagogue. And behind me are all the men of the synagogue. Give him to us, and you'll never see him again. If you ever see him again, give him the harshest penalty, but the men of the community will sign to take responsibility. I was embarrassed because I came by myself and did not have a community. What will happen if we mobilize our faith centers and our men to pull together something for the next generation, for us to figure out what is our safe space of accountability and community? I did something I've never done in my years of pastoring. Is a Sunday, I raised an offering and told the members of my church that I am raising an offering, hear this, with no vision. I'm raising an offering, and I cannot tell you where it is going. It is just going to be called the Movement Fund. Pastor, what do you mean by that? I had to tell the church, I don't know, with the dismantling of the Department of Education, in September, when there's no longer free lunch, will I have to get church buses and pull the kids from the school and bring them to the church? Or will I have to take church mothers to the school and provide lunch for kids who it's the only meal they'll have that day? Those of you who are in the room and you are alumnus of HBCUs, would you raise your hand for me, please? I got to ask you a critical question that I said to my own church is in June. I do not know whether I will have the space to give out college scholarships, or will I have to write the check to HBCUs? Because if they can take $300 million from Johns Hopkins, $500 million from Columbia, $700 million from Harvard, the question that we don't know in September, will HBCUs be able to make payroll? I know a lot of you in this room, like me, are from Ivy League HBCUs like Howard and Hampton and Spelman and Morehouse and A&T, but what do we do for Bethune-Cookman? What do we do for St. Augustine? What do we do for Paul Quinn? What do we do for Wilberforce? How do we safeguard it? The critical question in our economic development in this era and in this hour that I wish I had more time is that I do not want us as diasporic people to reduce the conversation around immigration to Mexico. It's 500,000 unprotected Haitian brothers and sisters right now who don't even know their faith. 5 of my own members from the Bahamas are waiting for deportation in a military jail right now with no media attention. I don't want y'all to think for one moment that they're going to be chartering planes back to Nigeria and Kenya. They are building planes and building prisons in El Salvador. And if we don't have money to bring to the table, then ladies and gentlemen, will be on the menu. The revolution will not be televised. It's going to happen at the bank. And the question you got to ask yourself is, are you in line at the ATM, or will you make a deposit? I'm grateful for your time. Thank you.
So there you have it. So that was quite an experience. It's actually even more impactful hearing it today, again today. But what are your thoughts? What are your opinions on what you just heard? And what are you inspired to do as a result of what you just heard? As I mentioned, I spoke at the same conference. They had me going on after this, but I still came and I represented, and I did what I needed to do. I did what needed to be done as well. But for us, for those of you who are listening, And I hope that you were inspired by the message. And just like he said, the revolution will not be televised. I say it will be monetized. I said that last week. I'm gonna make a shirt. The revolution will not be televised. It will be monetized. And so, we're people, they're not listening to these great speeches. Marching is not working. Marching is not moving. It is a symbolism. It's a good gesture of symbolism, but what moves the needle is the finances. And what he said is right in alignment with what I teach. This is what I live. Just like who was that said, I live this. Who was that said that? Wadia said, I live this. I've been talking about this because our people need it desperately, along with supermarkets, hospitals, banks, and other daily living essentials. One of the things he said when he first got on is, you notice they have not bombed the NAACP. They have not bombed Urban League, Rainbow Push Coalition. They haven't bombed their offices, but they have built, what they did bomb is Black Wall Street. Anywhere where there's been some type of economic thriving amongst Black people. What they did do is they destroyed our communities by urban renewal, by eminent domain. Every time we've developed some type of economic progress, they put a freeway through our communities. They built a lake through our communities. They build Central Park through our communities. So this is all by design. The question is, like he said, $2 trillion. This is what I always tell you. We have $2 trillion in spending power. That's discretionary funds. If we were a nation, we will be the 10th largest. He said 12th, but we will be the 10th largest nation based upon our economic power as Black people. So redirecting our spending. So what we are doing, and I know in the beginning, Sophia, you said, well, what about everybody else? We need to be boycotting everybody else. What about Walmart? What about Amazon? How do you eat an elephant? There's an African proverb that says, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. And so this right here, with what's happening with Target, is an example of what can happen when we have one mind, one voice. You ever notice that, like, if you have a project to do, or you have something to do, or you have a goal and it's too big, you just don't do nothing. You're just paralyzed. I ain't gonna do nothing because it's just too much. Well, we got to do one thing at a time. So we knock down Target, boom, we out. And then we go to the next. And so they only understand one thing. They only understand what's your money. So the idea of having Jamal Bryant's picture, I don't know if you remember his picture up in the White House. We come in, he's like, the hell, like me of all people. But it's because of the voice to economic power that he is stirring up in the people. It's not just him; it's other leaders. But he was the person with the loudest voice. So the four things. I don't know if you guys took notes, but the four things he wanted to do. So when all the George Floyd, Black Lives Matter thing happened, Target pledged $2 billion to invest in Black-owned businesses. After the inauguration, just like they said, that was canceled. Well, we ain't gonna do it no more. Oh, and we spend $12 million. Black people spend $12 million a day at your stores. And we made this pledge, but we decide that because Trump is now in office, it's no longer cool, or whatever he said to you to convince you to roll that back. And then somebody said it. Who said that? $2 billion pledge cost them $8 billion to date. Come on now. So that $2 billion pledge that they rolled back, that is the one of the four things that Jamal Bryant had proposed to them, and that's the only thing that they came through on. So they said $2 billion by July the 31st. They have to invest $2 billion in Black-owned businesses. That's progress. That's good. That's good, right? And then the second thing is, well, maybe it's not in order. He wanted them to reimagine DEI because Black folks are not the biggest benefactors of DEI. We know that. That's been the conversation that we've been saying. We are number 4 on the list. You have white women who are number 1. You have I think we might be even 6th, right? So you have white women. You have veterans. You have the disabled. You even have LGBT that can take DEI before Black people. So he's saying we want you to be intentional about hiring Black people. You can't see, you can't say people, you can't say Black anything, right? Because you got to say people of color and you got to be inclusive. And that's kind of what watered down civil rights, is because we had to invite everybody else to the party. And I don't know if we did that. If our inclusion was by necessity because we needed them to take us serious, or we did it because we just so kind and we wanted to invite everybody to the party. But whatever it was, it watered down civil rights for us. And so then we no longer got the benefits of what our ancestors fought so hard for. So he's saying, number two, I want you to reimagine DEI to be intentional about making sure that you are hiring Black people, because we're not the benefactors and we fought for that. The other thing is he mentioned that there are, I forget how many targets he said are on PWI campuses, but not one on the HBCU campus. Okay, that's cool. But he wants them to put 250. Oh, no, he wants them to teach retail business at HBCUs, to invest in something where they're teaching retail business, how to have Black people become self-sufficient. Let's go back to our own self-sufficiency. When you look at when before integration, when we had to do it, when we had to work with each other, when we didn't have a choice, when we couldn't go sit at their counters, or we couldn't drink out of their water fountains, what did we have to do? What we had to do is we had to create our own. So we had our own bus systems and airplanes and hospitals. And when integration happened, all those things declined. So when Black Wall Street was rebuilt, first we had 600 plus businesses. Then when it rebuilt, we had 300 plus businesses. So we came back. Federal government bombed it, y'all. It wasn't just the jealous white people. It was the government who dropped bombs on that town because they were thriving. Remember, J. Edgar Hoover said the biggest threat to America is Negro unity. Okay, so they are afraid. They have a fear, he said, of the Black Messiah. They have a fear of us unifying in some way, because I believe they have been so brutal to us since the inception of this country. They think that this is what we're going to do. When that's not even who we are. We just want y'all to leave us alone. We just want to live in peace. You know what I'm saying? We ain't trying to, take over the world and kill y'all and do y'all like y'all did us. We're not savages in that way. So, once integration happened, that's the way that Black Wall Street was destroyed for a second time. First time was through bombs and burning down. The second way was through integration. Because when we no longer had to do business with one another, we stopped. Then you had, Black people moving into urban areas. And then you had white flight, which also caused urban decay, which also created ghettos, projects, all those things. Those are very real things. In fact, I encourage you to go to my go to either my TikTok page or my Facebook page. I am Constance Carter. I do a lot of videos on, just Black History Spotlight. And I talk about those very things, short videos, 2-3 minutes, but it's very informative and it'll educate you on all these things that I'm talking about. Okay. And then the fourth thing he wanted was them to deposit $250 million in Black owned banks to give Black people an opportunity of home ownership. It's a beautiful thing. So those are, if Black people spend $12 million a day at Target, $12 million a day, what does that equal? 12 times, sheesh. Let's do the math. What's 12 million a month? So let's say 30 days. So 12 million times 30. So that's $360 million that we spend a month, Black folks, $360 million we spend a month in Target that we did before the boycotts. And times 12, that's $4.3 billion. $4.3 billion of our $2 trillion that we spend at Target. And you say to your commitment to supporting Black owned businesses, never mind. $4.3 billion. $4.3 billion is what Black people spend at Target. Sure, Walmart too. I'm sure Amazon even more because it's more convenient. So I'm sure Amazon sales have gone up significantly. Don't nobody want to go shop, in person anyway. So you can imagine, I'd like to see the numbers on Amazon. And that's going to be a hard one. So those 4 things. So what are your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, on what he said? So I'm gonna go to the comments. I'm just see what you guys said. And oh yeah, and then the trades, right? The trades. We have. I actually did a video on W.E.B. Du Bois versus Booker T. Washington, and kind of what their value systems were. But Black people are the talented 10th. We believe in W.E.B. Du Bois, a talented 10th. Like we have 10% of the people that are that can integrate, that can go out and be successful. No. We need more than the talented 10th. So we do need Black people in all facets. But that's why we've been taught to, go out and get our education. And, and if you notice, I don't know if you know that Trump said, no, we're going to go after, we're going to cancel the student loan forgiveness. And now, not only are we going to go after payment, but we're going to take money from your payroll to pay back your student loans. And I believe the reason why he did that is because the biggest borrower of student loans are who? Anybody have any idea? It's not white people. And I talked about this before. I don't have the statistics on here, but the biggest demographic that uses student loans is Black women. So, that's the reason why they're going to make sure that they're not giving us nothing. Okay. Giving us nothing. We're paying for it, but also we have a higher default rate on student loans. We're not paying back the student loans, or we deferring them for the rest of our life. I'm telling you, if I had a student loan, that motherfucker will be deferred for the rest of my life. So let me see. I'm Haitian. I came to States when I was 7 years old. Hopefully you're a citizen. Let me see. We need to help out young men and women by teaching them different skills, whether it being a chef, and we are very talented. We got to quit selling out and get on code is what Get Lucky in Kentucky. I like that. I like your name, Getting Lucky in Kentucky. We got to stop selling out and get on code. I think the thing about it, and I'm grateful, whatever you think about Jamal Bryant and his personal life, what I do know is, and he's a great orator. I used to have a show called Conversation Starters back during the pandemic, and I interviewed a bunch of celebrities. He was actually the first guest that we had. Michael V. Roberts is a billionaire Black businessman who's also a friend of mine, and he's on the board at New Birth, and he's one of the people who brought Jamal Bryant in. And so when Michael Roberts speak, everybody listen. So we told Michael Roberts we wanted him on the show, and he made it happen. So he was actually our first guest, but he and I just got to talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And very, very, very brilliant mind. He's focused, he's smart, and what he's saying makes a lot of sense. So let me see. FYI, people will hurt themselves to hurt you. Ain't that? If you could take the lowest white man and convince him that he's better than the best color man, he won't even know you picking his pockets. Hell, give him somebody to look down on, and he'll give you everything he owns. Lyndon B. Johnson said that. So many ethnic groups ate off our community, started with Jews, China, Korean, Latino, Arab, and Indian. 97% of Black women voted for Kamala. Yeah, we know that less likely. You're right. Oh, good for you, Jahari. She said, I paid my student loan. But default isn't deferment. Default is when you stop paying and haven't made any arrangements with the loan agency. Yes. We defer and we default. We do both of those things. So we have the highest default rate of everybody, but we also have a lot of us are deferring our student loans. I'd be deferring mine too. You can defer it as long as you possibly can. So I think that they're taking that option off the table for student loans. But the point is that we have to get in alignment. We got to get information. And this is the reason why I come live every day, because I want to be able to continue to get us focused on doing the right thing, practicing collective economics, investing in yourself, investing in your community. Remember, I said 13% of Black-owned business or businesses in Black-owned communities or Black communities are Black-owned businesses. And so when we look at that, we got to do something. We got to do something different. We got to start erecting businesses, brick and mortars as well. Now we have a lot of online businesses. The other thing is Black folks who are business owners, we're not employing people in the same way. So we need to, have employees, but we got to build these businesses so that we can employ people. But that's the reason why I do things like the Net 7 Collective. I have Black women from all over the country who come together, who are business owners who have a discretionary income because it's an investment. But they come together so that they can learn. I teach them new skills. I teach them how to build their businesses. I teach them investing. I teach them how to write books. I taught them all of that. As a result of them going through the Net 7 Collective, they have increased their net worth by 70%. They are out there speaking. They are starting businesses. They are increasing their revenue streams. This is real life. This is what I do. This is my purpose work. I own a real estate company. I built Catalyst Real Estate Professionals, which went on to become the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. But my passion is helping Black women because I believe that Black women are going to be the ones to help to close the wealth gap. There's this article in Forbes magazine that said by the year 2053, Black median wealth was going to be a 0. I don't believe that because they done fucked around and gave us the internet. And now I can say they done fucked around and gave us AI. So that is the great equalizer. The playing field we don't have equity, we don't have equality, but that is the great equalizer, meaning we do have access to things that we never had access to before. They cannot shut us out. We just have to be intentional about doing the work. That's the reason why I started the Grow Your Money Club. That's the reason why I come here every day to be able to give you different tools that you could use, make you think a little bit different. So if you don't know anything about the Grow Your Money Club, you got to get into the Grow Your Money Club because I give you things all the time, tools that you can watch this. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows, this is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The Wealth Map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and master classes within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So listen, the reason why I do this is because I want to help you. So if you are not a part of the Grow Your Money Club, you need to be a part of the Grow Your Money Club so that you can learn the skill set. That's for the folks who just want to start off. Okay. You want to start off slow. You want to start small. It's for everybody from all walks of life. I don't care. You ain't got to be Black. You ain't got to be woman. It's for everybody. If you want to learn a skill set, if you want to learn how to increase your revenue streams, the Grow Your Money Club is for you. The Net 7 Collective, that is for Black women specifically. And that's what I was talking about. That's when I coach you specifically to reach your goals. We meet on Wednesdays, every other Monday. And the thing about that is I did it so that I can help Black women, but I wanted to make sure that they were in action, because my thing is I don't just want you to be a hearer of the word. I want you to be a doer of the word. So we get together for a study hall every other Monday, and I show them different skill sets of how they could increase their revenue. I'm so invested in these women. Like, this is a journey that we are going through, but I'm making sure that they are doing what they need to do. So that right there, get in the Grow Your Money Club, get in the Net 7 Collective. All of those things, they are designed specifically, curated for you. because I love you. I love Black folks. So just so you can see, this is Dee Dee. She's an attorney. I just want you to kind of see one of the things that she said about being part of Net 7
When I
Collective.
tell you, it has been so much worth, so much more than I could even even imagine to spend. Even the position I told you, that the position that I have, I was recently hired as legal counsel for Roots Public Charter School in DC. And part of the things that I said in my interview, part of a program that I created based on some tools that you taught me about, that I was able to tell them, look, I've already created these, or I think I told them I can create these. I had already created these programs for the teachers and for the administrators or whatever. Part of that is what got me that position. The stuff that I learned from Constance. Got this book, Unbreakable. We did this thing in a matter of, it seemed like a month. and it's coming out on the 20th. Just so many things and so much that I've learned, stuff that I use in my practice every day, tools that I've learned. Constance is phenomenal. We love Constance. And
That's
anybody
true.
out there, if you want to grow your business, or you want to change, switch lanes. You're thinking about switching lanes, or you want to see how you can get more exposure. You want to get multiple streams of income, and you want to grow your business. Constance is the person. I promise you that you will not regret it, and it will be worth every dime and more.
I couldn't be prouder of these ladies. She's an attorney, and she came to me and was like, I need to, build my retirement. And I gave her another revenue stream. That's her retirement. We did this book, whole anthology. If you don't got the book, get the book. It's on Amazon. It's called Unbreakable, 17 authors. I help them become authors. Right now, we're writing a children's book. It's amazing. My kids don't even know it. They don't watch anyway. So I'm going to tell y'all, I'm writing a book for each of my children. It's going to be amazing. But we're writing a book right now. We're writing a children's book. So there's just so many things that I'm teaching them inside the Net 7 Collective. So if you are interested in becoming a part of the Net 7 Collective, go to net7bbs.com. And I'd love to have a conversation with you. But it's right in alignment with what Dr. Jamal Bryant was saying. And this is me in action. This is my contribution. Like, I'm walking and talking and breathing this every single day of my life. You know why? Because I love Black people. I love y'all. I love y'all. So don't forget, we are doing the Get Financially Lit mixer on June the 5th. And that's the weekend. Actually, Net 7 Collective, we're doing a whole Net 7 week type thing. And so we're going to do a bunch of stuff. But this is going to be our mixer that we're going to have. So this is an opportunity for you to come out, hear some folks speak, meet me, meet the ladies in Net 7. And it's going to be amazing. So April Sampay is going to be performing. April is the best. I know y'all see April. I know y'all see April. Early bird tickets are only $15. You cannot see April Sampay anywhere for $15. In fact, she's going to be performing at the Capitol Jazz Festival with Malcolm Jamal Warner on that Sunday. She's going to be at this mixer, $15, early bird tickets. The prices will be going up. So if you are in or around DC, or if you want to come through for the weekend, because the Capitol Jazz Festival is that week as well. This is going to be on June 5th. Get your tickets. Go to, what was the website? Get Financially Lit 25. Get Financially Lit 25.eventbrite.com. Let me put that in the comments. Get Financially Lit 25. Get Financially Lit 25.eventbrite.com. Get Financially. Boom. Come through, you guys. I would love to meet you. The ladies in Net 7 Collective would love to meet you. And April, you can see April perform for $15. And when I tell you, whether you see her perform for $15 or not, she ain't even getting paid. It's for a band. She's doing it for free for us. She gonna give 150%. April is literally hands down one of the best performers I've ever seen. And I'm a musician. I play the bass. I don't know if y'all know. I play the bass. I play a mean bass too. And I know a lot of musicians personally. I know a lot of singers personally. I'm friends with a lot of them. And April is one of the best to do it. So if you're not able to come, if you're able to come, I would definitely suggest you get your $15 ticket to be around and be a part of this mixer. It's going to be amazing. So listen, tomorrow, this is in. You guys go watch Fly Nubian Money. It's coming on at 1. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Look it, I gotta go nurse this little swollen eye that I woke up with. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go take some Claritin now, since this is over. So hopefully I won't be too high or whatever Claritin does. But thank you guys for joining me, and thank you for staying on for so long. I sure appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe to I Am Constance Carter, and I will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel. You know I love you for real in real life. All right. All right.